More than 25 people, including at least 3 children, have died after the most violent eruption of Guatemala's Fuego volcano in more than 4 decades. Around 300 are injured, according to officials. The volcano of fire spewed an 8-kilometre stream of rocks and hot gas. Thick plumes of black smoke and ash rained onto the capital. No, not everyone escaped. I think they were buried. How did you get out? Because we saw the lava was pouring through the cornfields and we ran towards a hill. How many are there in your family? We are plenty. Are they buried? I would say so. It's the volcano's second eruption this year. A fireman asked this man what happened. Look at the state I'm in. Charred bodies lay on the steaming ashen remnants of a pyroclastic flow as rescuers attend to badly injured victims. Some 3,000 people have been evacuated from the area. President Jimmy Morales is considering declaring a state of emergency.
On Hawaii's Big Island, about a dozen people who ignored evacuation orders are now surrounded by flowing lava. Their only way out will be by helicopter. Carter Evans has a view of the danger from above.
That is a huge lava front there, just consuming everything in its path. Massive amounts of molten rock, an unstoppable force of nature.
From above, the devastation is widespread.
This is the community of Kapoho. Authorities have been anticipating that the lava would get here for days.
Helicopter pilot Colin Burkhardt has watched it all unfold since the eruption began a month ago.
This could be an inevitable lava flow. It could end up being the new eruption site. It may never go back to Pu'uo'o crater. It may never shift back up the rift zone.
Homes and businesses are gone, and anything that survives here will be cut off from the rest of the island. Residents packed up what they could before the lava arrived.
This area is known as Four Corners because it's the intersection of 2 major highways. Lava has covered it all. There is nothing left here. And with it, the 2 major escape routes for people in this community.
This is Bill's house.
On the ground in Leilani Estates, lava is still taking out homes. When this one caught fire, a sheriff's deputy on vacation from Virginia and curious about the lava just happened to be there.
So I went around the side, banged on the door a couple times, announced, sheriff's department, and then I breached the door.
Smoke filled the home, but no one was there. Deputy Patch helplessly watched it burn.
It was bad, knowing you can't do anything about it.
From the air, Leilani Estates has changed dramatically over the last 4 weeks. Where there were once homes and a thriving community, there are now just rivers of lava with no end in sight. The landscape here has been changed permanently.
For the second time in less than 2 years, residents and business owners in a historic Maryland town will be forced to rebuild. Flash flooding yesterday devastated a city west of Baltimore. Nearly 8 inches of rain fell in just 6 hours. A 39-year-old man is missing. Jeff Pegues reports.
The flash flood came in with a roar Sunday, turning Main Street in Ellicott City, Maryland into a raging river. The fast-moving water quickly swept away cars and carried debris down the usually busy Main Street. In some buildings, the floodwaters rose past the first floor, leaving people scrambling for higher ground.
I actually know a lot of people that work down here, and a lot of them were trapped on the second and third story floors because they couldn't get out.
They say this is a once every 1,000-year flood, and we had 2 of them in 2 years.
Ellicott City is still reeling from a catastrophic 2016 flood that killed 2 people, decimated Main Street, and cost around $20 million in damage.
This is worse than July 30th of 2016.
Now, less than 2 years later, the scene here is eerily similar to July of 2016.
I can just tell you my heart is broken. Thinking about what the people had gone through here, they rebuilt, and now they're faced with the same daunting task again.
96% of the businesses damaged nearly 2 years ago have reopened their doors. But this, once again, the damage that people are waking up to here is a reminder of the heartbreak and how difficult it will be to rebuild.
More rain was the last thing they needed in the Blue Ridge Mountains of western North Carolina today.
In Boone, the National Weather Service sending flash flood warnings to cell phones. Last night, a mudslide hit a house and ruptured its gas line, triggering an explosion. 2 residents inside killed. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper touring the damage in his state today. 1,000 residents tonight still without power.
There are so many places that could potentially face disaster from mudslides and rock slides.
In Albemarle, Virginia, Swiftwater rescues this morning. And tonight, an ongoing search in the aftermath of a flash flood after a couple's car was swept away. First responders still looking for one person. The other passenger didn't survive. Tonight, 12 million people at risk from severe weather, mostly heavy rains. In and around Paducah, Kentucky tonight, forecasters calling for possible hail. With more than 7 inches of rain, the waterlogged soil here no longer holds tree roots as normal. Wind gusts, as predicted tonight, could easily cause dangerous collapses.
We're being warned that a major storm is about to hit the city with heavy rain and potentially damaging winds topping 100 kilometres an hour. Already the rain has arrived, and the latest advice from the Weather Bureau is that it will increase in intensity through the night. Tegan Sapwell is out in the elements tonight.
In some areas, winds of up to 125 kilometres an hour are expected, with most damaging gusts likely to hit the southwest. It'll all hit at the same time as high tides, and that has authorities worried about erosion on our beaches. Some are already in trouble. A WA Day storm brewing off the coast, set to batter the state within hours. Bringing with it strong winds and monster tides. For the second time in a week, businesses perched on the edge of dunes at Fremantle's Port Beach are preparing for the worst.
We'll be here late through the night keeping an eye on it. Not that there's much we can do with Mother Nature.
And it's not the only part of the Perth coast facing a serious erosion threat. Fragile coastal areas expected to bear the brunt of a storm authorities say poses a triple threat of wind, fire and flooding. The wild conditions will hit coastal areas around midnight and increase throughout Tuesday. It's the first major cold front of winter, packing wind gusts of up to 125 kilometres an hour, which authorities say could cause significant damage to homes. We see these weather systems a few times a year, but this one will be windier and cover a larger area than a typical front. The Perth metro area in the firing line. 100 km/h winds expected between Exmouth and Walpole, extending inland throughout Tuesday. South coastal parts will be hardest hit, with possible gusts of up to 125 km/h between Bunbury and Walpole. Homeowners urged to prepare now.
That would include securing things like trampolines, children's playground equipment and garden furniture.
Authorities also warning people not to light controlled burns.
There's still a significant amount of dry country out in the warning areas, and we're very keen to avoid outbreaks of controlled burns as we saw a couple of weeks ago in the Great Southern region.
Despite the wild conditions, there's little relief for farmers. Agricultural regions unlikely to get more than 20 millimetres of rain.